Nobody tells you when things start to change, when you stop feeling young and start feeling time has passed, when life starts feeling heavier. No big moments, no warning, just waking up one day realizing things don't feel as light as they used to. One day you think you'll wake up and finally know what you're doing, that things will feel lighter, that you'll feel sure about your life, that somehow the noise will fade, everything will finally make sense. But most people are figuring it out as they go. Your friends, your family, the person online pretending to have it together while secretly falling apart, huh? Everybody's pretending a little, trying to look more certain than they feel. You wake up, you make tea, you try, you tell yourself tomorrow will feel different, and somehow trying quietly becomes your entire life. The strange part is, nobody notices when you're changing. There's no movie montage, no dramatic transformation scene. Just tiny, invisible moments. Somewhere along the way, your younger self slowly disappears. And maybe that sounds sad. I think becoming someone happens very slowly. So maybe this isn't failure. Maybe this is just what growing up looks like. Messy, quiet, ordinary. But most things feel less like destiny and more like trying to make it through the day without overthinking everything. Nobody talks about this part, the waiting room feeling. Like your real life is about to begin, while secretly wondering if this is already it. At some point, someone hands you an invisible checklist. Know yourself in your teens. Build something in your 20s. Have it all figured out by 30. Reinvent yourself in your 40s. You're right. Finally understand life in your 50s. Hopefully. As if life is a race. As if there's a finishing line. And somehow, everybody else looks ahead of you. Everyone moving with purpose. Sometimes I think survival is just learning how to make ordinary things feel yours again. The strange thing about nostalgia is it never arrives dramatically. It sneaks in tiny moments that feel familiar for reasons you can't explain. You know, cannot at all. Sometimes it's just a man hanging outside your 32nd floor apartment window at 9 a.m., cleaning glass, reminding you the world keeps moving, and somehow that feels important. You're sitting quietly on your balcony sipping tea and questioning your entire life. Life has incredible timing. You can be having a full existential crisis while someone outside your window is just trying to clean glass. And somehow that feels important. Oh wow, look at the ground below. Dang. Whew, what was I saying? Yeah, life has incredible timing. You know, you can be having a full existential crisis while someone outside your window is just trying to clean glass. And somehow, that feels important. Like both of you are just people trying to get through another morning. Maybe that's all adulthood really is. Millions of people waking up tired, carrying invisible things, and continuing anyway. Everybody's carrying something, some heavy load of shit. How to say it nicely? Everybody's trying to make peace with time, trying to feel okay, even for a few minutes. Maybe we're all closer to each other than we think. Not through success, not through certainty, but through exhaustion, through routine, through the strange, quiet mornings where nobody really knows what they're doing, but everybody keeps moving anyway. Maybe survival doesn't need to look heroic. Maybe it's just making small things feel deliberate. Maybe it's just, staring at your window, looking at a man cleaning glass, and just being in the moment. No stress, no pain, no grief. Just being, observing, watching. Looking at a man hanging for his dear life while cleaning windows. Take that in, people. He's dangling, somersaulting now. It's a high rise. And there, my friends, maybe it's waking up early enough to carry your plants one by one. Where to, you might ask? Where am I carrying them? I just saw a man dangling through the window, and here I am picking up my plant one by one. To where? Where, oh, where am I taking them? Maybe life is just about learning how to take care of other beings, other things. And of course, taking care of yourself in the process as well. Maybe it's just being in the moment, quietly, naturally, just letting water fall over your plants like summer rain. Watching dust, washing away dust from the leaves, watching something quietly come back to life. How sometimes they're ignored for days, and somehow they find ways to survive anyway. And somehow that feels strangely human. There's something calming about touching plant life in the morning, something grounding about it. The cold leaves, the smell of wet soil. No notification, no performance, no pretending to have your life together. Just your hands, plants, water. And maybe sunlight now, the sound of water hitting green light in a quiet apartment. Wow. For a few moments, the world stops asking anything from you. No expectations. No invisible checklist telling you who you should already be by now. Just living. Trying to stay alive, These plants, they're just living by a window. And somehow maybe that's enough. If I compare it to healing, maybe healing starts here. Caring, devotion, focus, action. Tiny acts nobody see in learning how to care for something gently. In learning how to care for something gently, while slowly learning how to care for yourself the same way. Because plants, they don't rush. They don't panic when growth takes time. They just keep reaching towards life quietly every single day. I think that's what nobody prepares you for. How much life, how much of life happens in private. Not the big moments people post online. Not weddings, not promotions, not life-changing announcements with perfect lighting. And inspirational captions, let's not forget them. Real life is quieter than that. It's like standing barefoot in your living room in the morning, holding a dripping plant, trying for it to stay upright, while hoping for sunlight to find its way, to spill across the tiles. Or maybe you're hoping for a warm, cozy day. It's about listening, to hearing, to no sound at all, while your entire universe shrinks down to water, leaves, steam, and breath. And somehow those moments feel more real than almost anything else. Maybe because nobody's watching. And maybe there's only you guys watching. Hey, out there. How many of you are here? 2, 3? Can you please go up to 1,000? There's no audience in moments like this. That's why I thought, why not create an audience? There's no performance. There's no character to maintain. It's just me speaking in an unpolished version of myself. Well, I'm trying to polish this version. And I'm starting to narrate my life like it's building towards something dramatic. I don't know what it'll be. And for a second, I just exist. I just exist. I just am. I think people spend most of their lives waiting for clarity to arise, like lightning. One huge realization, one movie scene, one perfect conversation that finally explains everything. But clarity is rarely dramatic. Most of the time it arrives disguised as ordinary moments. You notice it quietly while wiping water off of the leaves, while making tea, while opening your blinds or while closing them. Tiny moments where your nervous system finally unclenches for a second, and you realize how exhausted you've actually been. Maybe adulthood is just accumulating invisible weight, bills, expectations, deadlines, memories, versions of yourself you haven't become yet, versions of yourself you already miss. And the strange thing is, nobody can really see it happening. You could be carrying the heaviest season of your life and still look completely normal. Because everyone you pass is carrying something invisible. Everybody's fighting thoughts nobody else can hear and continuing. Just ordinary survival. The kind nobody applauds. The kind that happens quietly in apartments all over the city every morning. Maybe real strength looks softer. Maybe it's getting out of bed when your mind feels, ugh, when life becomes beautiful, few seconds at a time. Maybe figuring it out was never the goal. Maybe it's just growing quietly at your own pace, a few seconds at a time. Maybe figuring it out. Maybe figuring it out was never the goal, Maybe it was just in the being.